Hi guys, it's Laura. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back to my channel. It has been so extremely hot recently in Vienna, so I have decided to use up some leftover fabric that I had at home, and I made myself this cute strappy dress. So if you want to know how I designed the pattern and how I made the dress, then please keep watching. Let's have a look at the sketch of my dress and at how I created the pattern as usual. So I have decided to make the dress a neck holder dress with a long strap that I would tie behind my neck. And the thing was, I had only a few pieces of the fabric with the pattern, with the print on it, and I didn't have enough of the fuchsia fabric to make the bottom of one piece. So I have decided to make in the middle a piece with the print and also in the back. Now the top is basically exactly the same pattern like this top that we created the other time together. That's the swimwear top. I will link the video down below. So if you watched the video in which I have shown how to make your own swimwear or pole wear, then you know that the basis for this top was a simple tank top pattern, so you don't have to buy any special pattern for this dress. And if you haven't watched the video, I would suggest to watch the video first, because then you know how I created this shape. And now for this dress, I basically made the same shape for the front and for the back, just like here. And then I also made a band for beneath the top part. Now I didn't have enough fabric to make it of one piece, so I made like two pieces, but it's basically the same width as here. And this was basically the width of my elastic band that I then used inside of my dress, plus seam allowance on the top and on the bottom. Now for the baby doll part here, I took a guide that is slightly rounded and made a curve, and then from the curve I measured, I think it was like 22 inches, and I picked a few spots and measured the same length everywhere, and then I had a curve on the bottom. Now the circumference of my upper body beneath my breast is 30 inches, and I made two pieces of fuchsia that were a little bit wider and two pieces of the printed fabric that were a little bit narrower, because I just didn't have enough of it. And when I measured like two of these and two of these, I came up with 40 inches, which was almost too wide. I think 35 inches would be enough, but the wider this part will be here around the bust, the more ruffled it will be on the top. So either make it a little bit more narrow, then it's gonna lay rather flat here, or you can make it a little bit wider and then it's gonna be ruffled. But don't worry, you're gonna see everything in the video. Also, I made this strap for around my neck and for the edging of the sides. And the back part, it was 4 centimeters wide without seam allowance. I didn't have to add any seam allowance there. And I don't know how long it was. I just measured kind of, okay, how long is this supposed to be? I basically took the measuring band and put it over my back and then behind my neck. And then I have seen, okay, how long this is supposed to be so that I can tie it in a bow. And then I had the length of the strap. This is the curved guide that I used in order to create this curve. Now I always go somewhere towards the middle, like it says 25 centimeters or 24. This is where I start, and then if I need a little bit flatter curve, then I copy this side, and if I want the curve to be a little bit more rounded, then I go to the other side. It depends. This is definitely a tool I highly recommend because it helps you so much with creating patterns. And then when the dress was done, I folded the dress in the middle sidewards, and then what I always like doing is I like creating the back a little bit longer than the front. So I cut here about 1.5 inches away and I worked my way slowly towards the bottom here, because I find that it looks always prettier. For me, there is nothing worse when it comes to dresses and skirts than having a skirt or dress that your buttocks lift up and it's shorter in the back. It just doesn't look good. So that's why I always do it. I think 1 inch would suffice here. I made it 1.5 inches shorter because I found it pretty, but that's of course up to you. And also it depends on how round your butt is, because the rounder your butt is, the more it's gonna lift the dress in the back, and then you would have to cut a little bit more here in the front. And I also had some leftover fabrics. Now, in the video with the swimwear and pole wear, I made these panties, and I used the same pattern, and I made of the very last pieces of the fuchsia fabric these pants. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. And these pants. So these are a little bit lower, these are a little bit higher. I like big underpants underneath my dresses because it doesn't feel so naked. And even though I like tangas, I prefer pants like that in summer because I feel like I don't sweat between my buttocks as much as when I'm wearing tangas, which is of course an information probably no one wanted to hear, but maybe some of you are sharing my thoughts on that. So I used up every last piece of these two fabrics, which makes me super happy. And now let's have a look at how I created the dress. Here I have the parts for my dress. So here on the top, this is the front top part. On the left side is the top back part. I have 2 layers of each, and then I have here this strip of fabric with the elastic band, that's for the middle. And here I have 2 layers of the side pieces, and this is the middle, back and front piece. And here on the side I have a very long strip of fabric that I'm going to use as my strap. First, I pinned the sides of my top front and top back part together, and I have sewn them together with a stretchy overlock stitch. Here's what it looked like. And then I put the 2 sides together and pinned them together around the neckline, right sides facing each other. I've sewn the neckline through with a regular straight stitch. Next, I pinned the strap to the top part. So first, I have sewn the strap on one side to the top with a stretchy overlock stitch. And once that was done, I started folding the strap, and I also placed an elastic band inside of it. This is how it looked like when the strap was pinned in place. I've sewn through with a stretchy zigzag. As a next step, I pinned the band together, and I've sewn the sides together with stretchy overlock stitch. I pinned all the bottom parts together. I have sewn all the pieces together with a regular straight stitch, And at the end I folded the seam to one side and I've sewn that through also with a regular straight stitch. Once the bottom part was finished, I pinned it to the band. Because the bottom part was wider, I had to stretch the band out to the width of the bottom. I have sewn the band on with a stretchy overlock stitch. Here you can see that the bottom was then a little bit ruffled. Now here is what it looked like when the band has been sewn onto the bottom part. And then I pinned the top part to the other side of the band. And just like with the bottom part, I have sewn it on with a stretchy overlock stitch. This is how the top part looked like. I pinned the side of the elastic band together and I have sewn it through with a regular zigzag. I placed the white elastic band inside the band between the two pieces. I folded the seams over it and I have sewn it through with a stretchy zigzag. On the bottom, once I cut the dress back the way I explained at the beginning, I folded the fabric inwards and I have sewn through with stretchy zigzag, and then my dress was done. And here are also one of the matching undies that I made myself of the very last pieces of the fabrics. So that's how I made this cute dress. I love making things like that because I always feel like when I have some pieces of fabric that are not enough for a shirt or for something else, it's too bad to just have it laying around, and I always try to figure out what to make of it. And I'm super happy how this dress turned out. Originally, I wanted to have the bottom just in this pink, but it wasn't enough, so I had to add these middle pieces. But I think it's interesting, and why not? It's a little bit different than what I planned, but it turned out alright. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumb up because that really supports my channel, and you can also subscribe to my channel if you didn't yet. If you want to, you can turn on the notifications so that you will know whenever I post a new DIY project. And I have linked down below also my vlogging channel and my Instagram account and several videos and playlists that I think might be interesting for you. And there's some other stuff that might be either helpful or interesting. So just, you know, if you want to have a look at all the stuff that's listed down below. And thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with my next video. Bye!